Alright, so there's a common misconception that really annoys me, and that's the difference between nihilism and cynicism. Both have become mainstream pop culture ideas that are explored in various TV series and music and edgelord pretending to be both, or one or the other. They are not the same thing. In fact, I would say they're a middle and an opposite end of a spectrum. All the way end being a normal person who likes society, likes morals, and likes the way our culture has been set up. Now, nihilism comes in kind of in the middle here. Now, what nihilism believes is just that nothing at all has inherent meaning. Many of you are probably nihilists, especially if you're not religious. It's kind of a hallmark of non-religious people, not necessarily those overly preachy, annoying kind, but just, hey, nothing inherently matters. We make our own meaning in life. We choose what matters, and that's fine. That's a good thing. Think of nihilism as just kind of the bro way to approach life. You're not going to tell someone that what they believe doesn't matter because you understand what everyone chooses to make matter is what matters to them. There is no inherent this is important. I think it's a very optimistic way to look at the world. It's kind of a whatever goes, whatever floats your boat way to look at everything. And that's kind of how I view the world for sure. You can't have any right as a person to look at someone and say, what you have chosen to matter doesn't matter, and you are wrong. It would be very non-nihilistic to do that. Of course, Nietzsche is the one who kind of brought nihilism to the forefront of thought in the modern world. Nietzsche is kind of always referenced with nihilism, which can be a good or bad thing. And of course, this is a very dumbed down version of nihilism. I'm not going to get into the real nuances of it, but just on its surface value, nihilism is the rejection that anything inherently matters. We're all just random space dust. No one knows why we're here or what the end game is, or even if there is one. So make up your own point of life and go by it. And I think that's kind of a beautiful thing. There's nothing really wrong with it. Cynicism is on the other end of the spectrum. There's a Greek philosopher who's kind of become an internet meme and popular because of that, named Diogenes, and people kind of refer to him as the original cynic, which in many ways he was, at least the first popular one. But people kind of glorify Diogenes as a good thing, when really they shouldn't. Diogenes was an annoying, dog-like man who continuously yelled at people that their beliefs are wrong, that we should revert back to nature, and that everyone was stupid for having culture. Cynicism thinks anything anyone believes that matters at all is stupid. There is no reason to believe anything, and culture is pointless. Reject cultural values. Just do anything you can to upset cultural norms. A true cynic like Diogenes would live in the streets, not even use a bowl to drink water. There's a famous story where Diogenes saw a child drinking out of his hands, so Diogenes broke his own bowl so that he could be as cynical as the kid who was just an orphan. I don't like cynics. They take it too far. I think telling people that nothing can matter and if they're stupid for making things matter is kind of an asshole way to live. Now, of course, there's kind of badass stories with Diogenes, like Alexander the Great coming up to him and asking him, if you want I could give you anything in the world, what would you want? And Diogenes essentially saying, fuck off. Yeah, that sounds kind of cool, but in reality, like, you could have said, hey, feed my city, all these things. But because he's a cynic and he's super hardcore, he said, no, get away, I don't like you. That's pretty much what real cynicism is. If you think about it logically, it's kind of an asshole way to live, because you're telling, hey, what makes you happy is stupid. Everyone should revert back to nature. Let's just go behave like monkeys or dogs. The original comparison was like a dog. The word cynic even comes from dog. So on the spectrum of society, we have normal culture, where people just accept whatever culture tells them matters and they go with it. Nihilism is the recognition that, hey, these things might not really matter at all, and we're all just kind of pretending they do, but it makes us happy, so whatever, just do it. Cynicism is on the other end over here, and it's telling people they're stupid for accepting that anything matters. Nothing does. And if you look at the way the original cynics behaved, they were all kind of super annoying, overly preachy pieces of shit. Now, there's a third thing that some people kind of bring into this argument and associate with nihilism and cynicism, and that's pessimism, which is unrelated completely. A pessimist just believes the worst outcome is the most likely one, and that is not what those two things are at all. Nihilism is about finding meaning, and cynicism is about rejecting meaning. Pessimism is about outcomes. I wouldn't say either of these are very pessimistic. They're just ways of viewing the world. Cynicism maybe is kind of pessimistic, but even then, not really the same thing. It's an attribute of the ideal, not the ideal itself. This is just a misconception that kind of bothered me, and I didn't have a book to review. So I figured, let's get rid of this misconception, at least among the few hundred people who watch this video. And that's pretty much it from me right now. I might do more videos like this because I kind of like exploring misconceptions and especially ideals like nihilism, cynicism, all those things. I'm going to be putting another book review soon, I promise, and I hope to get at least 2 videos out this weekend. Hope y'all are having a great weekend, or at least start to one. I didn't sleep last night, so have a good day. Please like and subscribe and everything YouTube wants me to say so I can get that YouTube money. Peace.